Hello guys, Belle here, going to give you a walkthrough of your Fury Warrior for your honor talents for PvP. I'm going to give you just an overview of what it's looking like because we are still in beta, so a lot of things can change. I'll save the guides for after it's live, but in the meantime, this will at least give you enough idea to know how you want to go and what direction you might be looking towards as far as the playstyle of your warrior. It's also important to note here that I'm not going to be talking about how PvP works, as I've already done that video. You can find it on the YouTube channel. You can click at the top right corner here at the end of this video and see that great walkthrough, which kind of gives a full breakdown of all things you need to know about PvP in Legion. So you'll unlock your talents here by gaining your honor levels. Every couple honor levels you will unlock a new talent. You'll start with your first column, you'll move to your second, and then to your third. The cool thing about the way they have this set up here is by the time you're honor level 10, you should effectively have your first column unlocked, so you can at least use one talent within each row so that you can take advantage of that as soon as possible. Now, another important thing to note here is this top row here. This is going to be your CC defensive. And this is for all classes and specs have the same row. So you'll get this option with every single class and spec that you choose for PvP. Nice to know so that you have some different options. Your first one, which is your Gladiator's Medallion, you actually get this at level 110. This is an instant ability. It's on a 2-minute cooldown. Obviously, this is your trinket. Does remove all movement impairing effects and all effects which cause loss of control of your character while in PvP. Your second one here is going to be Adaptation. This is passive. All loss of control effects with a duration of 5 seconds or more will activate your Honorable Medallion spell, but only causes it to incur a 60-second cooldown. Relentless. This does replace your Honorable Medallion. Duration of incoming crowd control effects are reduced by 25%. Now, it is important to note that I did test out Relentless as opposed to your Medallion here, and let me tell you what I found out. I found out that for arenas, obviously, it's super important that you have control over your trinket. You're going to want to have control over when you pop that because essentially this can make or break a win in an arena. For Relentless, I did actually find this most useful in Battlegrounds, mainly because of the large amount of CC that happens from so many different people because it is a group setting. I found that being able to use this only once every 2 minutes felt pretty cheap in that regard, and I felt like I got more bang for my buck when I chose to go Relentless and have my duration reduced by 25%. Now, although 25% is not a whole lot, I actually did feel like I was CC'd less, and I did appreciate that. So take that for what it's worth. That's just kind of my opinion, as I did go through and test. I actually tested that on my Warlock, which is a class that's CC'd a lot just because of the Chaos Bolt. So definitely something to note. And of course, this is subjective. This is according to the style of gameplay. If you're super in control and like to be able to control when you use your trinket, you can totally use that. But Relentless was pretty good in Battlegrounds, and I imagine it will be quite useful in RBGs. For your next row here, you do have Hardiness. This is passive. Well above 80% health, you do take 20% less damage. For Reinforced Armor, this is also passive. Health is increased by 10%. For Sparring, this is another passive talent. Physical melee attacks have a 20% chance to be blunted, dealing 50% reduced damage. For your third row here, you do have Death Row. This is passive. You can now execute targets at or below 25% health. You have Blood Hunt. This is also passive. When within 10 yards of an enemy at execute range, your movement speed is increased by 15% and all snares are suppressed for at least 15 seconds. Your next one here is going to be Death Sentence. This is passive. Execute now has a 15-yard range, causing you to charge to targets when used. For your next set here, you have Rage Machine. This is passive. Non-periodic attacks against you will generate 5 rage. You have Spell Reflection. This is instance on a 25-second cooldown. Raise your shield, reflecting all spells cast on you. This does last 3 seconds. Ready for Battle is also passive. Rage gained from charge is increased by 15. For your next set here, you have Barbarian. This is passive. Increases the number of charges for Heroic Leap by 2 and increase the damage done by Heroic Leap by 200%. Your Battle Trance is also passive. After you Raging Blow the same target twice, you go into a trance, causing you to regenerate 4% of your health and generate 5 rage every 3 seconds for 12 seconds. Using Raging Blow on a new target will cancel this effect. This is going to be something that you're going to want to pay attention to if you choose to use Battle Trance, because if you do choose to use Raging Blow on another target while you're still in your trance, that is going to negate that, and basically it's going to be for nothing. The last one here in this row is going to be the Thirst for Battle. This is also passive. Blood Thirst clears all snares and increases your movement speed by 15% for 2 seconds. Your last one here is going to be Slaughterhouse. This is passive. When you use Bloodthirst, the damage is increased by 10% and the cooldown is reduced by 1 second for every 20% health the target is missing. Your second one here is going to be Endless Rage. This is passive. Increases the duration of your Enrage effect by 2 seconds, and your Raging Blow refreshes the duration of your Enrage. For the last one here, this is going to be Death Wish. This is an instant ability. Increases your damage done by 5% at the cost of 10% of your health. This does stack up to 5 times. Just want to make a note. I'm sure this is obvious, but just in case it isn't, with using Death Wish, you are going to want to make sure you're watching your health, because if you're constantly spamming this, you are going to die. That's going to be your breakdown of your PvP talents and what you can look forward to in Legion. If you have any questions, make sure you comment on the video. If you're new to PWNCAST, make sure you give the channel a subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the Legion news, as well as future guides for both PvE and PvP for all classes and specs. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.